Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. This time we are reacting to a video called The Dark World of Unrealistic Male Body Standards. Now I always hear about the ladies going on about unrealistic body standards for women, but I think it's time we hear the unrealistic body standards that people have for men. So let's hear what this video has to say, shall we?
If you search Google for the perfect male physique, something interesting shows up. The same for men's health. This wasn't always the
Okay. Here's the thing a lot of people don't really understand about this type of physique, or the one you see right over here in the left side, or these other ones that you see. While they, yes, are attainable, they are not realistically sustainable. Now, you can sustain them, but it takes a huge toll. One, it's financially difficult to constantly do this, to keep this throughout the entirety of your life. And the other thing is, you hear a lot of this, a lot of these things from Hollywood actors who have gone to get these sort of physiques they have, like Zac Efron when he did Baywatch. He later came on and said that after doing that, he never wants to try and get that ripped again, because doing this sort of stuff, while, like I said, yes, is attainable, it is not realistically sustainable for a long period of time, because it is a lot of work and it is not cheap to do it. And it also can take a very big mental toll on you as well. And I don't think it's very healthy to try and sustain this sort of very ripped physique. I mean, I think the more easily attainable and sustainable sort of physique to have is what you see like Jason Momoa has. He's not really, ripped like this. He has more of the built body that is very easily achievable and sustainable. And he's not ripped like this. So I think if you're looking towards a celebrity, one that's more realistically attainable and the one that you can keep probably the best, one example in my opinion would be Jason Momoa.
the case. Now, let me close those tabs before I start getting strange looks again. But many are calling this phenomenon one of the biggest threats to the fitness industry. And this isn't coming from people that just want an excuse to be lazy.
Unhealthy relationship with food. I don't court a banana. I don't.
Nor is it coming from the give yourself a hug type people.
Yeah, there, Cookie Monster.
In fact, the people speaking out are heavily incentivized to shut up and smile. And most do. But the more you listen, the more you realize a harsh truth.
For an increasing number of men and boys, this otherwise benign desire to be more attractive transforms into something categorically disordered.
This is a systemic problem, too taboo for television.
Yeah, it's while I'd say both genders get it a lot, and it sucks for I'm gonna mainly be talking about the male side, because for one, I'm not a female. I have no idea about the brain chemistry for them and how it makes them feel. I know that sometimes they do have unrealistic body standards that a lot of them want to conform to or try and attain, that is not, like the male side, not very sustainable, but is attainable, just not very sustainable. But we're going to mainly just talk about the male side, because this is, male body standards, not female. I see a lot of people, and it gets younger and younger. Like there are kids who are 10 who look like they're between 10 and 15 years old trying to get this super ripped physique. And honestly, I think that's, while yes, it's nice to be healthy and, you know, in shape, kids that young should not have to worry about that too much. They shouldn't have to worry about getting the most ripped physique possible. They're still kids. They need to go out and be kids. If you want to worry about that sort of stuff, wait until, you know, you're out of high school. But we see a lot of this more and more where they pushed onto men where you can't get anywhere in life. You can't get any women. You can't really do much of anything unless you have this super ripped physique, this unrealistic physique that is just not sustainable for a long period of time. It's I mean, we should push out there that everybody should be fit and healthy. You shouldn't have to be like, you know, a bodybuilder ripped, you know, like those ones that go peacocking on their like Mr. Olympia, those muscle shows, whatever the fuck they're called. There was I can't remember the exact words somebody said about it, but they're like the two big body types. There are strong men. Like there was somebody who asked, what's the difference between a strong man and a bodybuilder? And I can't remember what he said verbatim, but he basically said that one is practicality and the other one is just for show. Where the strong man is more for practicality and the bodybuilder is just more for show. They're, you know, peacocking. But I think what people should try and go for when it comes to a fit body is, yes, you can have some muscle definition. You shouldn't have to go for the super ripped thing where it looks like there's no fat at all between your muscle and your skin, where it's just it's just like just your skin like saran wrapped onto your fucking muscles. That I don't see that as very good. I mean, if you can attain it for a short period of time and that's your goal, go right ahead, but don't expect to keep that for the rest of your life without probably breaking yourself. But, you know, something, you know, like David Beckham here, like something like this, you know, or like the body on 300, that's probably more of the ideal built, or maybe a little, you know, a little bit less muscle definition where you're still slim, but you still show some muscle definition and you're fit and healthy. I think that's more what people should strive for than these unrealistic standards people see like these bodybuilders have.
Television, but the human brain isn't built.
I'm just going on a stupid tangent, sorry.
To recognize, often until it's too late.
No, there's no short secret recipe for it. You know, you just have to.
Don't do this at home.
I don't ever want to be.
Yeah, like this is it. Like this, Zac Efron basically said he does not ever want to do this again, because for a lot of people, it takes such a huge mental toll on them just to get up and go to the gym for hours on end a day and have a certain diet and, you know, just all this sort of stuff. It is such a huge financial and mental toll. I don't think anybody should do it for a long period of time.
In that good a shape again.
It's not natural.
There's not many drug use or abuse issues where you get complimented so much.
They see it on the small screen on their phone. They see it on the big screen in Hollywood movies. It's in their hands when they're a f***ing toddler.
So yeah, I decided to.
Yeah, right there.
In
Hang
Hollywood
on.
movies, it's in their hands when they're a f***ing toddler.
Yeah, see, a kid this young should not be this ripped. I'm sorry, but a kid this young should not have a body looking like this. They should not try and attain so much muscle definition. I mean, if this is what the kid truly wants to do, fine, let him, but it's not natural. It's not something that you should be doing as a kid. I mean, you know, good on the kid, good for him, great achievement. It's just I don't think that's really a good thing for a kid to do.
So yeah, I decided to start a trend.
Yeah, a 14-year-old kid even.
Don't compare yourself to these people because they're probably lying to you anyway.
You need to pull your head out your ass and understand.
Yeah, that's another thing a lot of people shouldn't really trust is all these pyramid Ponzi scheme diet plans that a lot of people see on TikTok and Reddit and YouTube and all these other places. The best thing and it's the most basic thing too. The most basic things you can do. One, get at least 8 or more hours of sleep. Your brain needs that. That is one big way you can help with weight loss. Get your fucking sleep. I'm saying this now. I won't even be getting 8 hours of sleep because I'm a fucking idiot. The second thing you could do is, you know, caloric deficit. That is the most basic thing people don't seem to understand or believe in. The thing you have to understand is if you want to gain weight, you have to eat more than the energy you put out on a daily basis. If you eat even just a little bit more than the energy you put out, you're going to gain weight over time. If you eat the same amount of the energy you put out, you're going to sustain your weight. If you eat less than the energy you put out, you will lose weight over time. That is the most basic thing people need to understand when you want to lose weight. You don't necessarily have to exercise to lose weight. It is something you should be doing because it is a healthy thing to do. You know, build your stamina, become more fit. It'll make you feel like you have more energy. The most basic, other than, you know, you don't have to go to gyms and exercise to lose weight. Go out for at least an hour or so a day and just walk. You are your own weight. Go out and walk for at least an hour a day and eat less than the amount of energy you put out on a daily basis, and you'll still lose weight. Even those who are disabled, you can still eat even if you cannot walk around. Those who are in wheelchairs or in crutches, a cane, or whatever, there is no excuse for not losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you can. Eat less than the energy you put out on a daily basis, and you will lose weight. You could still eat whatever you want. Just don't eat more than the energy you put out on a daily basis, and you'll lose weight. So that's basically all you have to do. And drink some fucking water, people. Jesus Christ.
It takes its toll.
It's not right, is it? I know it's not right, but I can't safely say that this is going to stop.
So, how did body dysmorphia become so widespread and deadly? But more important,
social media. Everything to blame that is put in people's heads, that it's telling people you need to look like this, you need to do this, you need to listen to that, you need to say this. All social media, all of it. People are easily swayed by what they see and hear on social media.
Why are more people not speaking about this?
Hang on, what did that say? Unrealistic male body standards are deadly. Yes, unrealistic body standards for both female and male are deadly. They just are. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we're talking about the male body this time. So yes, unrealistic male body standards are deadly. There's no question about that. The following video contains sensitive topics. Viewer discretion advised. This is an opinion-based video, and you should treat it as such. My goal is to shine a light on the deadly consequences of unrealistic male body standards, detailing why you should be cautious with this. Yes, always be cautious with your body. What you're putting into it, what you're doing to it, what's coming out of it. Always be cautious. Take care of yourself.
What is the perfect male physique? For me growing up, it was something like this. Health magazines suggest the same. Over time, this ideal has morphed towards something leaner and more muscular.
Trust me.
Hollywood films make this clear. Similarly, with reality TV shows, female dolls are criticized for becoming unrealistic, but male dolls are arguably even worse. 1960s G.I. Joe looks like he's about to unveil the iPhone. 30 years later, he looks more like a bodybuilder. Early Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, a lot of this is social media, and I think the majority of it would have to go to Hollywood. A lot of it is because of Hollywood.
Besides modern Skywalker. Batman besides modern Batman. You get the point. If we ask AI to show us the ideal male physique.
Yeah, this is highly unrealistic. It is a body that can be attained, although not everybody's body shape is going to be the same if they get this ripped. Some people are going to have a sort of different body shape because not everybody is the same. But this is attainable, but this is highly unrealistic, highly unsustainable. And it's just, you should not go for this. It's just not right.
Physique. A similar image is painted. There's a clear ideal becoming more and more extreme. So
okay, I gotta say this. The funny ones I've run into, there's this sort of few videos on TikTok. It was a parody of Harry Potter and everybody getting swole on hair, and it's just like this AI art of Harry Potter and all these other ones getting swole, and it's basically just the head moving around with the mouth moving, and like an AI generated body like this. It's just Harry Potter and just getting swole. It's freaking hilarious.
What we're seeing here, these are the men of the Woodabee tribe, showing their slender bodies, white teeth and eyes in a beauty pageant to win the attention of the female judges. This is what the peak male looks like in the Bodai tribe, where the men compete to be the fattest. Ancient Greek statues depict a lean, muscular body as desirable, while traditional Japanese culture associates masculinity with self-discipline, loyalty, and honor. To identify
I think self-discipline, loyalty, and honor is a great way to go about masculinity. I think that's one of the better ways to go about masculinity than what we see here in like America and Europe. But I think the most unrealistic body standards in the world is probably in America. I'm sorry to say, but it is probably us Americans that have the most unrealistic body standards. It's probably where it all came from, is American Hollywood and just America.
physical ideal. We need to understand what beauty is. The Oxford Dictionary defines it as the quality of being pleasing to the senses or to the mind.
And everybody's standards of beauty is different. No two persons' standards of beauty will always be the same.
Looking across different cultures, the ideal seems to vary and change over time. Social media and the internet have erased cultural boundaries and created a highly competitive environment where only the most extreme stand out. This emphasis on leanness and muscularity isn't just a Western thing, it's gone global. We are witnessing the homogenization of the ideal male physique, what some refer to as hypermasculinity. Even society's ideal men seem to be getting stuff done to achieve this.
There's been a lot of talk about, red pill and self-improvement, creating your
I think regular masculinity is what guys should try and, just strive for. I would say screw hypermasculinity. I think hypermasculinity is more of a detriment to both your physical and mental health. Regular masculinity is fine. Don't try and achieve hypermasculinity, because I honestly think that's more of a detriment to your mental and physical health.
masculine character. Looking like you swallowed a shovel is probably not the answer.
The psychology that somehow would have led to this guy thinking he needs a jaw implant or something, I can't even fathom.
A self-improvement can absolutely go.
Yeah, not... Look, people who are naturally born with that, square jawline, that's fine. Don't try and genetically modify your own jaw or get those squishy things you chew in your mouth to try and build up your mouth muscles, because you can fuck up your own jaw muscles to the point where you're not going to be able to really move your mouth well. You're not going to be able to really chew your food very well because you're you're not really supposed to work out your jaw muscles. You just leave them alone because you can fuck up your own jaw.
Go too far.
We aren't just talking Greek statue physiques. That was passed long ago. From facial aesthetics to height and muscle definition, some of the methods men are using to achieve such ideals you might find disturbing.
Striving for perfection.
That smile.
Don't look. Strive to be a better version of yourself. Don't ever strive for perfection, because there is no such thing as perfection. Perfection does not exist. Always strive to be better than you were yesterday. Always strive to be a better version of yourself. Don't ever strive for perfection, because perfection doesn't exist and it's not attainable. That's not a negative thing to say. It is realistic. The only thing you should ever strive for is just to be a better version of yourself. That's it.
What you see is from a man who just had his bone shattered in a surgery to add 2 inches to his height. A painful procedure that more and more men are getting. Although
This is very sad because of the dating world for men. I think it's more the vocal minority that have been shouting out to the world that women care about height. But, it might be a majority of women that care about height. But there are so many guys who are under 6 feet who have a hard time finding somebody, because a lot of these women are so hard pressed on having height as a requirement for dating that people are spending tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to break their fucking legs and stretch them just to get a few more inches into their height. Look what a lot of you ladies have done to men. Just look, I'm 5'8". I am the average American male height. I would never ever do this. I've heard that this is so fucking painful. For a man, this is probably one of the most painful things you can ever do in your entire life, is to do that, is bone lengthening. And it's mainly little people that do this, but there are plenty of average height dudes that try and do this just so they can get to 6 feet tall. That is horrifically sad. Also, they can try and fit to the standards of the dating world that women have set. It's so fucking sad.
Though Mukesh recorded the physical pain at a 9 out of 10, he stated it was less than the emotional pain he felt when people mocked him for his height.
We'll get rid of those love handles too.
Other men are getting abdominal implants, with some injecting oil into them.
Okay. Look, implants I can understand if something's going wrong with your body. Ab implants I think are fucking dumb, because you can get abs naturally. You can. You have to fucking work for it, but you can. This right here is, I'm sorry, you need a fucking reality shovel smashed across your fucking face. What the fuck are you thinking to inject oil into your fucking arms? I've seen a video, I think it was a Russian dude that did it, that had this oil injected into both of his arms. He looked fucking stupid. It was one of the dumb... it was just as dumb, if not dumber, than the guy who tried to surgically make himself look like Justin Bieber. I'm sorry. You have to have negative IQ to think this is a good idea. You have to be as dumb as a box of rocks. I'm not being nice on this. You have to be as dumb as dog shit to fucking do this.
Their muscles. Each year,
Yeah,
over
this
2 million
guy.
Americans
This guy. It was that guy. It's like, what the fuck? You trying to look like fucking Popeye?
have cosmetic surgery, a number that's rising, with many trying to achieve an instant boost in muscularity.
Total spent on my body modifications is $950,000
Isn't this the guy that tried to look like Superman?
US dollars.
Now, people can do as they please, but for many,
Oh yeah, she had, out of a lot of people I've seen had plastic surgery on their face, this lady has, oh my god, it worked against her so fucking hard.
cycle or surgery is never enough. Bigorexia is a dysmorphia people have, where they never see themselves as muscular enough.
Already, I'm very curious as to why my waist is thicker than usual. Upper chest needs work. Why is my waist so thick? My arms just aren't big enough.
Here's the thing, people. Like I said, everybody's body shape is different. Not everybody has the genetics or body shape to get the V shape. That's just, not everybody's genetics will allow that. This guy's body has more of the body that is attainable and sustainable. People, I know it's mentally difficult for a lot of people. I really do. But people need to learn that men need to learn that not all of you are genetically or physically able, no matter how much you work for it, are able to get the V shape. Because not, like I said, not everybody's body type or genetics is going to allow it. You can get slim, you can get fit, you can get muscular, but not everybody is going to be able to attain the V shape. That's just how life is.
In comparison to my chest and my back.
Of course, this can lead them down a path of steroid abuse.
When I was 15, I did something crazy that changed my life forever.
And with the rise of steroid-like compounds readily available to buy on the internet, many teenagers are shutting down their hormones for a more muscular physique.
This is just sad. I mean, the only time people should ever take steroids is if you are medically if a doctor tells you that for medical purposes you have to take steroids. That is the only time you should ever be taking steroids, is if you are medically prescribed it. There are more negatives to taking steroids than there are positives. The negatives will always outweigh the positives, especially when it comes to if you're trying to get swole or whatever. Why would you take something that has more negatives than positives? I have never understood that.
Do I take any supplements as a 15-year-old bodybuilder?
No. I'm sorry, but if you are under 18, you should not be a bodybuilder. You just should not. No, you're still a kid. Go out and be a kid. Go out and have fun.
Yes, let me show you what to take.
I'm currently on 15 milligrams a day of Rag 140.
Like I said, don't ever trust any of these things. Just don't. It's all a Ponzi scheme.
So 25 milligrams a day of MK677.
You might argue these people are just morons.
They are.
However, some of the methods used in Hollywood are also questionable.
I was eating so much chicken breast that the hardest part about it was actually chewing it all. So I would just put it into a blender, blend it all up, and just drink chicken.
In fact...
Oh, that just sounds disgusting.
To achieve it...
I love chicken. But drinking a chicken smoothie just sounds disgusting.
His physique in Baywatch, Zac Efron was also taking powerful diuretics to dry himself out.
When I was done with that movie, I don't ever want to be in that good a shape again. Really.
I don't think it's surprising that many people struggle with disordered eating habits, like Freddie Flintoff, who developed bulimia.
I became known
I will
as a
never
cricket,
understand
yeah.
cricket. Cricket is so confusing. I'll never understand it.
That's when I started doing it. You put your fingers down your throat. As you gag, you bite into your hand so hard. The wrenching to get it out. It's not right, is it? I know it's not right.
No.
But I can't say for sure that this is going to stop.
If you can look past the airbrush marketing and Hollywood magic, eating and exercise disorders amongst celebrities are everywhere.
So if I'm gonna get a girlfriend, I gotta have a six-pack. And so I thought that if I didn't eat anything, well, I wouldn't get any fat. And then if I worked out a ton, I would get big and muscular.
Meanwhile, some of the biggest...
That's not that's not how your body works. Oh, starving yourself is not the way to go. That is going to really work against you. Just like eating as much as you can, eating as little as you can, and trying to work out is not a good idea. Because you're basically running on fumes. Your body needs fuel to burn.
Influencers are using Photoshop, Videoshop, and other deceptive practices to stand out on social media.
Here in the Western cultures, there has always been a tradition of muscularity, but in the last several decades, this emphasis on male muscularity seems to have accelerated.
No matter where you look, this can be seen. Yet, nobody wants to admit it. So, where could this change be coming from? And what could be driving it?
Social media. Hollywood.
Over time, the Hollywood portrayal of the...
Yeah, see, even the Hugh Jackman look, he had to really, really work hard to get the physique for Wolverine. Like I said, stuff like this is not... It is attainable, but it is not sustainable.
Ideal man seems to be getting more and more muscular.
So when I got to Orange is the New Black, for the first shirtless scene, I definitely did some unhealthy crash dieting. And being in TV long enough, I'll tell you this is something that almost all actors and actresses do for these shirtless scenes.
They often achieve their physiques through aggressive crash dieting at the expense of their physical health to meet Hollywood's demands.
It's a couple hours a day, and it was brutal. The tricky part was eating.
The same occurs in Bollywood.
So putting on the weight was fun. I could eat and drink whatever I wanted and have a great time. And I had a ball. I have to say I had a ball. But it was also most uncomfortable. Even my wrestling training was affected because I was carrying so much weight that I couldn't really move fast enough.
This was the silver era of bodybuilding. This is the gold era. And this is today, with many bodybuilders displaying
Okay, these physiques right here, these are the physiques that are both attainable and sustainable. These are the type of physiques that guys should be going for. Not what you see now in Hollywood and the bodybuilders you see. Those type of ones are, well, I will say this throughout the entire video. While yes, they are attainable, they are not sustainable. These are attainable and sustainable. And healthy too. They're not overly ripped. They're not too skinny. They have a good amount of muscle on them. They are fit and healthy. These are the type of bodies guys should try and attain and to keep. Not the golden era or this freakish shit.
Bubble gut.
You're ripped. You're huge. You look fantastic. No stomach, no nothing, no problems. Because people do not come to a show to see bellies. And if they want to do that, they go to a maternity ward or something like that, and they can see plenty of stomachs there.
Columboism is a side effect of heavy steroid usage.
I'm not talking about my belly.
Probably don't need to tell you, a similar physical progression can be seen in reality TV.
Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped.
This is Jason.
This is what I'm talking about. This is also the type of body right here that is both attainable and sustainable. Jason Momoa, right here. This is also the type of body a lot of guys should be going for as well. Because this is actually, despite how it looks, it is fit and healthy.
Momoa, Aquaman, his physique, labeled as a dad bod. Same thing for an off-season bodybuilder.
I'm sorry, but that Jason Momoa body was not a dad bod. That's, well, I guess it's kind of between dad bod and fit.
Chris Bumstead.
Can you rate this guy's physique for me then?
Can't see him. Oh.
I'm sorry, that is not a dad bod. That is not a dad bod. I don't know what these ladies are talking about, but that is not a dad bod.
Part of me wants to put these warped ideals down to improving knowledge, resources, and just a natural result of increased competition. But the rise of cosmetic drugs, technology to manipulate videos, and the super competitive...
It just looked horrible. It looked like you fucking...
But the rise of cosmetic drugs, technology to manipulate videos...
That looks horrible. Just looks like you went over his body with a spray brush. Or brush spray, whatever you want to call it. That just looks so dumb.
And the super competitive social media environment where people only post their highlight reels, it can be difficult to separate social media from reality.
See that hang on.
Highlight reels. It can be difficult to separate social media from reality.
This is the, just like that silver era, this type of body right here is what this type of fit, not type of body, but this type of fit and slim is the type guys should try and go for. Because like I said in the other ones, this is more fit and healthy.
But others have argued there's a darker side.
This is not. This is just for peacocking.
You see, some people profit immensely off these warped ideals. An invisible...
The one thing a lot of people don't know as well, a lot of these guys are not able to even wipe their own ass. Literally, they are not, because their muscles are so in the way that they need assistance to wipe their own ass. Or they need a bidet. Because they literally cannot reach it.
Invisible hand. Sounds very tinfoil hat. But to understand this perspective, we need to go deeper. To the man who wrote the book on propaganda and shaped the world of marketing as we know it. 1920. Women didn't smoke. It was extremely taboo, a masculine thing to do.
There's a taboo by men that does not permit women to smoke, either in public or even...
They should have kept it that way. Because there'd be less people smoking. Don't smoke, people. It's not good for you. Why the hell am I saying it? People aren't going to fucking listen. They're going to smoke. This world is way too fucking stressful.
Even at home.
Of course, the tobacco industry wasn't happy missing out on 50% of potential customers. Everything they tried to do to appeal to the female demographic failed. They simply wouldn't buy based on rational reasons presented. The stigma was too much to overcome. Then along came the young marketer, Edward Bernays. He had a secret weapon, knowledge passed down by his notable uncle, the father of psychoanalysis. Sigmund Freud believed that much of human decision-making was driven by unconscious and irrational impulses, often resulting in excess and overcompensation. Bernays decided to apply his uncle's theories to marketing. He didn't need to appeal to the individual woman and the rational benefits of smoking. He needed to completely reshape the cultural perception of smoking. So he hired a group of women at a big event, told them to all light up cigarettes, with photographers ready to take photos of them. These ladies weren't just lighting cigarettes, but torches of...
Those... I always thought they were one of the silliest things ever. Those sticks where you put the cigarette on the end of it and you just smoke through that. I thought those were one of the silliest things, especially whenever you see them in like Disney or any other movies where you see the ladies with these stick cigarette things. And I thought it was so silly.
Freedom, demonstrating their ability to assert their independence. He had staged a political protest to invoke the right emotions in the woman.
Next morning, there wasn't a newspaper in the United
God damn it.
States.
Why is my chair going down?
Even the New York Times had a front page story. Debutantes light torches of freedom to protest man's inhumanity to women by a taboo against smoking.
It worked. Bernays would go on to use trick after trick after trick in the
Chair keeps
marketing
going
and
down.
political world. He wrote the book on propaganda and set the path of much of the advertising you see today, with companies hiring psychoanalysts to capitalize on this new approach to marketing, a shift from need to desire in a post-war America.
Modern man quite often tries to work off his frustrations by spending on self-gratification. Modern man is eternally ready to fill out his self-image by purchasing products which complement it.
And what better way to improve one's self-image than through your own body? Vogue magazine invented cellulite, a perfectly normal thing.
Yeah, you see a lot, and I'm sorry to say, but it's mainly women who are complaining about this cellulite. You don't realize it is a completely natural thing to your body. It's completely natural. You have cellulite, ladies. And it's natural.
And into a condition, marketers went hard, tapping into the insecurities of women, driving the massive growth of the beauty industry. Buy this to be good enough was an extremely powerful message.
Is it wrong to give people what they want by taking away their defenses?
But much like with cigarettes, marketers realized they're missing 50% of their potential customers. Only this time, it was the men. Much like with the creative marketing of lung cancer sticks, this is not always in your best interest. And after many iterations, these standards, what people want, has become more and more unrealistic. Advertising lives or dies by its commercial success, and insecurity sells. The human brain has evolved over millions of years and isn't built to deal with the rapid rise of the internet. Whether intentional or not, the display of unrealistic and deceptive ideals in the media exploits our cognitive biases, often to the detriment of both mental and physical health. It's why some of the most mainstream fitness advice is the least effective.
I don't know who still needs to hear this, but you do not target fat around your stomach with specific exercises. 8 million views.
Oh, let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they... Do you know how stupid the average person is?
Average person applauds.
This is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with low experience in an area tend to overestimate their ability.
Wait. Peak of Mount Stupid. Valley of Despair, Slope of Enlightenment, Plateau of Sustainability. I didn't realize that peak of Mount Stupid.
Your knowledge. Regardless of how smart you are, if you're part of the human species, you're susceptible to your cognitive biases being exploited.
Is he smart? No, he's a freaking good-looking dude, okay? And he's making extremely large amounts of money by saying stupid things that don't make any sense, but you look at him and you're like, holy crap, he looks amazing. I'm gonna do what he's doing.
This is the halo effect, where people who are considered attractive tend to be rated higher on other positive traits as well.
If you were to look at this podcast there,
is this some cheap shit, Joe?
No, that's the shit, bro. You see that curtain down the back?
Fats and meats and never eating carbs.
But the way that he's tried to mimic the guest position on Joe Rogan, you fucking piece of shit.
Social proof is another, where simply a large following can make a person more trustworthy. By presenting a certain body type or standard as the norm, marketers create a reference point that influences our perceptions of what is desirable. The anchoring effect. This and an array of other blind spots is what the media taps into. Often those people on social media, in magazines and on the big screen are just cogs in the machine. At the start, this was more blatant and easier to identify. Today, it's all around us, often with no escape. Don't get me wrong, I'm down for super effective marketing that helps people live healthier lives. But no other industry has such a high failure rate while being so profitable. I can't help but think back to the many people getting life-altering surgeries, developing eating disorders, and a lot of the negative side effects we haven't even discussed yet. Meanwhile, obesity and suicide rates are on the rise in America. And a recent poll found that 1 in 8 UK adults have suicidal thoughts related to body image. There's a very clear disconnect In fact, a Harvard psychiatrist warned about this over 20 years ago. I don't think even he realized just how serious and widespread this would become. The many problems men have with their warped physical self-perception was grouped under an umbrella by Dr. Harrison Pope, the Adonis complex. Adonis was half man, half god, according to Greek mythology. Visual perfection, the god of beauty and attraction. Dr. Pope has documented cases of men quitting prestigious jobs, people smashing their own faces with a hammer to qualify for...
Imagine that. Plastic surgeons had refused surgery. He deliberately smashed his nose with a hammer. That way they'd have to fix it, he said. People are deliberately hurting themselves just so they can get some sort of surgery. And there are people who are addicted to this surgery and they piss away hundreds of thousands of dollars. People put so much stock into physical. Look, I understand that people, you have to have some sort of physical attraction in your partner. I get that. But the physical attraction doesn't have to be the absolute main aspect of it. And there are people out there who are saying that a person's looks are everything. And then you got people out there who are genuinely believing that, trying to break themselves just so they can get shit like surgery so they can try and look better. It's horrible.
Plastic surgery, and others dying from disordered diet and exercise regimens. Although these are extreme examples, this was over 20 years ago, and we've seen many more cases since. Pope suspects unrealistic standards driven by the media is what's fueled the rise of the Adonis complex.
Yes, I've done steroids.
But
no
here's the
shit.
catch. When beauty is so subjective, the ideals so extreme, the effects are fatal. Today's children are growing up with the internet as a constant presence in their lives, with little knowledge of a world without it, and the harmful effects of unrealistic bodies.
Parents need to have their kids go out more. You can't just stick a screen in front of their face and just forget about your kid for the next 8 hours. You can't do that. That is not parenting. Actually parent your fucking kids. Don't stick a screen in front of their face. Actually have them go outside and be a kid. And go out there and play with them every now and then. Be a parent.
These standards are evident through the growing list of casualties. I'm a 14-year-old and I'm thinking about taking 50 milligrams of Deca per week for 4 weeks. I know about the side effects on adults, but not in teens.
Yeah, not in teens. Is there any side effects that I should know? I'm 14. Well, you're pretty fucking tall for a 14-year-old. Damn. 5'11" and 132 pounds. I've been lifting since October. I have 2 15-pound dumbbells that I use every night. I want to put on some size. Dude, you're 14. You don't need to put on any size. And strength before I go to high school. I have 11-inch arms, 35-inch chest, 13-inch... I don't know these things if they're good. I have 7 months to gain some size before high school. If you have a program or diet, please print it on this page. Thank you. You're fucking 14. You don't need to be putting on any size or anything. Like I said, there's kids 10 to 15 years old, 16 years old, who think they need to be the most ripped person in school. Dude, just be a fucking kid. No child needs to put on such a ripped body while they're still in high school. They don't need to be doing that. Just make sure you're healthy and, don't get fat. Just actually eat healthy. And, you can go and take a walk and, do some workout, just to keep yourself fit and keep yourself from becoming obese. But you don't need to be going through some sort of bodybuilder training as a kid. You don't need to be doing that.
Is there any side effects I should know? I'm a 16-year-old boy, currently undergoing cosmetic limb lengthenings.
Yeah, this is, unless he has surgically needed that. No, you're 16. You're still fucking growing. You're not done growing yet. I don't know at what age the human body is done growing, but it's certainly not fucking 16. You're still growing. You're still in school. You don't need bone lengthening surgery. You're fucking 16, man.
Surgery. I don't think I know what's best for me yet, but I absolutely cannot see myself regretting this decision. Sometimes unorthodox and drastic solutions are the best ones. I'm 15 years old and recently found out about SARMs. My goal is to gain more muscle.
What the fuck is SARMs? What the hell is SARMs? What the hell is SARMs? Selective and androgen receptor modulator are a class of drugs that selectively activate the androgen receptor in specific tissues promoting muscle and bone growth while having less effect on the male prostate gland. Just no. Don't be taking fucking drugs. Come on.
And get leaner.
You're fucking 15 too.
I'm 5'11" and
this shit actually, it genuinely upsets me that there are kids who are not even legally adults yet thinking that they need these pyramid scheme drugs just to gain muscle mass or definition. Just it's so fucking dumb. And then there are adults out there, genuine adults, who think it's okay for kids to be getting this shit. And parents of these kids, what the fuck are you doing? How can you allow your kids to get these sort of, drugs or body enhancing shit? They're not a legal adult yet. They shouldn't have access to this shit. Just fucking go be a kid. Come on.
145 pounds currently. My main concern is whether or not I should take Ligandrol, considering my age. These are just a few people on public forums about to make life-altering decisions, with many going through with it.
So yeah, your brain doesn't even stop developing until you're what, 20-5? He's got 10 more years until his brain is done developing. He shouldn't be making that fucking decision yet.
I decided to start trying.
Whoa, dude. What did you just say?
We're witnessing extremely young kids take puberty-altering performance-enhancing drugs, with parents suspected to be giving it to their children.
Yeah, look at this kid's probably, what, 8-10 years old? And he's got abs? No. It's not right. It's not healthy.
As young as 6, for a chance to make it in Hollywood.
This, like, I've seen this kid plenty of times before on other videos throughout the years. I don't know if he's doing okay now, but this isn't right. This is not right. It's just not.
There's not many drug use or abuse issues where you get complimented so much.
And even people trying to do things more...
Yeah, no, this is... Oh my god.
More naturally are suffering.
I know I look like complete wrong.
This is not right, little girl. It's just not right. There's something wrong with society. Don't ever go out. Don't ever go out into society.
Rubbish, right? When you train every single day for like 2 hours, do a load of steps, get like 4 hours sleep, you have no team to support you, and everything is being done just by you. It takes its toll.
In life, there is this feeling.
even for those people who have a team, it still mentally nearly fucking breaks them.
That we all live with inadequacy. There is this call to achieve and to go beyond all expectations, to outperform other people, to measure oneself against a panoply of influencers and gurus, to work ridiculously long hours.
Scott was one of the more wholesome fitness YouTubers.
Is that French toast? This shit looks delicious.
Doing much of the things we see Hollywood boast about. Yet, it seems to have contributed to his early death.
But I've set it up, you're gonna think I'm gonna blow up. Oh, shit.
I remember seeing a 19-year-old die of a heart attack in the local paper. 4 different steroids were found.
7-foot teenage... God, that kid's fucking tall. I mean, I remember there was a kid, a senior in high school. I think I was a freshman or a sophomore at the time. He was fucking tall. He actually had to duck before going through the corridors because he was that fucking tall. 7-foot teenage bodybuilder who wanted to be the new Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson dies after a workout. See, like I said, attainable, not sustainable. While yes, they are attainable, a lot of the bodies you see a lot of these people have, like Dwayne Johnson, it can and will kill you if you don't take care of yourself.
Found in his system with a suspected enlarged heart a contributing factor. Similarly to bodybuilder Dallas McCarthy, who collapsed on stage, recovered, and sadly passed away with a heart almost 3 times the size it should have been. A lot of people.
Yeah, see, and a lot of these workouts you go on, you can't just go hog wild straight into it. You have to ease into it. You can't just automatically start doing what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is doing. He's been doing this for decades. 20, 30 years. So his body is used to it. You can't just immediately start doing what he's doing. You have to start small and work your way up if you want to do what he does. You can't just immediately start doing what he's doing. If you do that and continuously do that on a daily basis, you're going to kill yourself. Or you're going to break something on you, whether it be your legs, arms, chest, neck, head. You're going to either severely injure yourself or kill yourself. Take care of yourself, for the love of fucking God.
People are speculating how much testosterone was this guy actually injecting to get a 55,000 nanogram per deciliter total T.
There's tributes on YouTube for all of the bodybuilders who pass away. Each year, the age is getting lower.
Someone is literally going to have to die on stage before something changes in bodybuilding.
Maybe these are extreme cases, but if you actually listen to what the very celebrities many look up to are saying, a very different side gets presented.
It's hard to look like, even if you do work out, to be that kind of in shape is not natural.
Yeah, see, fucking Kevin Nash. I think the type of body we should be promoting out for health purposes and everything is back in the silver age of bodybuilding that we saw earlier, where the bodies that are attainable and sustainable, those are the type of bodies we should be promoting, not these unrealistic standards where people can fucking die in the middle of their workout.
The way they achieve their rapid transformations is often highly unsustainable.
For guys, that's unrealistic, I'm telling you.
Zac Efron actually went through a phase of depression and insomnia after his brutal drug-assisted crash Baywatch regimen. Channing Tatum, Luke Jackson, Ed Sheeran, Tyson Fury developed eating disorders and are warned about their unsustainable practices.
I started noticing it for the first time when I just started rebelling against a gym.
And these people have the top coaches and doctors at their side.
Truly, I don't know how people that work a 9 to 5 actually stay in shape, because it's my full-time job and I can barely do it.
When studies are suggesting the majority of men and now displaying signs of body dysmorphic disorder. It's an issue that's hard to ignore, but because of a stigma, speaking about this, seeking help, or even thinking about it is seen as weak, with many willing to end their lives or pin themselves because help isn't as macho. And even those who look the best aren't immune to this, because everything is subjective.
I look like a normal, reasonable human being with like an acceptable amount of like muscle tone, right? But still in my head, there was like this crazy just distortion, body dysmorphia.
This doesn't mean you shouldn't find people in great shape motivating, just that even your favorite idols get older and struggle with these things. Yet, it doesn't get much coverage because it's not as glamorous. Resistance training and having high goals isn't inherently pathological. I have respect for anyone who achieves an impressive body transformation, especially if done honestly.
Yeah, I mean, for the people who naturally get as ripped as they can, look, I have mad respect for you. I really do. It's amazing you can do that. It's amazing you have time to do that, considering the type of economy we live in now and how expensive shit is. I you know what, mad respect. But people around them have to understand that that type of physique is not always sustainable and can be a detriment to your health mentally and physically. Like I said, it can. Not always is, but can.
However, unrealistic body standards can have deadly consequences, regardless of where you think this stems from. Many point to Hollywood actors, supplement companies, dolls and clothing companies. I get why some people want to see the fitness industry burn to the ground. But pitchforking individuals and stealing kids' Power Rangers probably isn't the answer.
It's just a doll. It's just a stupid little plastic doll.
Nor is polarizing people with men or women have it worse arguments. There is no them and us. The market decides what sticks, so mass awareness is a big part of the solution. You vote with your money and attention. This isn't necessarily better than this, nor is this than this, and definitely not this or this. It's up to you to discover what you really want, and not have others decide this for you. Dr. Pope suggests the following as potential outlets if you get caught up. Personally, I still go to the gym. While I'll never look crazy, it's been very satisfying to get closer to a goal that I had as a kid, especially considering I don't think it's an unhealthy obsession anymore. Ironically, with progress being the best, once I chilled out and focused on other things. I realized the hard way that looking good means nothing if you don't feel good. If you ever tried to get in shape, please understand this. It's all I'm trying to get across to the video. I don't often ask, but sharing this video wherever you can would really help a lot. Self-improvement is supposed to enhance yourself as a person, not replace yourself. So, the perfect male physique, based on the evidence, it never existed. It's what you believe it is. I just hope trying to get there for you isn't as deadly as it's been for so many people.
Yeah. That was The Dark World of Unrealistic Male Body Standards. I honestly don't believe there is no perfect male physique. There isn't. There's no such thing as perfect. There never was. There never will be. So, but that was The Dark World of Unrealistic Male Body Standards. I hope you all enjoyed it. I would like to hear your opinions on the male body standard and what you think of the unrealistic is for it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more. I post 3 days a week. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.